Why aren't you letting me save my changes? Twitch.tv.
Because you gotta pass them through the Kusog gland.
Oh, apparently it's like, hey, I won't let you save your changes unless... Whatever. Whatever. So dumb. Okay. No, do not pass anything through the Kusog gland. That is very gross. Type. You know what? I'm done with Kusog glands, right? Okay. Not thinking about that anymore. Not thinking about how I can get this all turned off and get back to everything. Because we have a game to reveal, everybody, and we have a GM to reveal as well. Which, honestly, I don't think it's going to be too much of a surprise here. So let's go ahead, shuffle on over to the game reveal. Yeah, thank you, Crappy. Bringing us over. Who do we have today? Well, yeah, Corn Dad.
Look, it's me.
Yeah, Corn Dad, you are the first.
To be fair, I have been the first.
GM is me.
That was a lie. That was a lie.
I have been the opening act for Kusog7ande in one form or another since Kusog7ande 3.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you know what? Y'all saw RoboCop, and you know what? Man, for like 3 years, right? I have been milking that. Right? And you know what? It's time.
That cow is dry.
I don't know. There's still more RoboCop. But, you know, maybe it's time to move on to other 80s movies.
Yeah,
right? I think that's legitimate. You know, like movies that have had sequels that have come out in the last month. Maybe?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I need to go see this movie. It's absolutely
really
want to.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great stuff about it.
We have some very special music to open up this. Right, because this music's actually not going to show up in the real game.
Let me go ahead and open up the link that you sent over to me. Thank you, everybody who is subscribing. This actually does a lot to support me and support the channel and keep Kusog7ande going, considering that last year, we gave out a lot of prizes. This year, I still haven't announced the prizes that we have because today's day one.
True.
But everybody, listen to the music here. Listen to the fantastic NES music. And yeah, it's no surprise what we've got. Wait, Game Boy Advance?
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
We're playing Top Gun Firestorm for the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
But I wanted to make sure we play the Top Gun anthem. Because you'll never hear it ever.
Well, that's fine. I like this music. This is a good anthem.
Yeah, it really is. And you'll never hear it ever again.
Sad
because Top Gun Firestorm, if you close your eyes, you're going to think to yourself you're listening to an Amiga platformer. Maybe a shoot 'em up. But either way, it's not Top Gun.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. But this music, oh my gosh, everybody just rock out. We've got, what's his name? John Travolta? Is it John Travolta? No, it's not John Travolta. Tom Cruise. I almost said Jim Carrey. Okay, that was going to be an even worse statement there. I'm still waiting for my ADHD pills to kick in, Corndan, so give me a break.
I can tell.
Yeah, I took them a little while ago. We're warming up. We're getting there.
So, Yugi is doing audio, by the way.
Perfect. I've got Yugi marked. Well, everybody, Top Gun, strap yourselves into your seatbelts. Wow, apparently all of our streamers are mature audience streamers. That's okay. I'm a mature person, and so is Kusog7ande, 8 years old.
That's true.
7 years old. 7 years old. 7 tournaments old.
7 seasons old.
Yeah, that one. Season 7, Kusog7ande. Thank you, everybody who has decided to come and join this year. Honestly, I am so excited. So ridiculously excited for Kusog7ande this year. I think that... I don't know. It's been a rough beginning to the year. Considering that it's June and I'm still calling it the beginning of the year, you know.
It's like the first... We're still in the first half of the year.
The first half, okay. Yeah, I suppose that's true. We're in the first half of the year, which means that it's just life, the universe, everything. Yeah. But with that said, you know, we've got Kusog7ande today.
That's drunk.
Why is Snestrunk playing?
Hello, little different.
Shut up! Shut up! They're gonna. No, shut up! Go away, Snestrunk! No.
Maybe
it autoplayed.
Go
it
back
autoplayed from
to your,
Top Gun. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to my.
I mean, the new TMNT game is great. I don't know about Snestrunk, but the new TMNT game is great.
No, Snestrunk is fantastic. Absolutely. Like, I would say that if, you know, it would be great if we could just sit here and watch that, but no, we've got to do Kusog7ande instead.
That would be a better experience than what we're going to watch.
Yeah, honestly, I have a feeling that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles might be a tiny bit better than what we're getting here. A tiny bit, like a fraction of a percent better. I don't know, Top Gun, I've never actually seen the movie. I've only played the NES game.
Well, the NES game is notoriously hard.
Yeah, I know. I'm very much aware of that.
And that's kind of why I avoided it, at least for round 1, right? This game is easier, they'll be able to play it. It's still really bad.
Yeah. I mean, with any luck, they'll be able to play it. I honestly think that, you know, when it comes to bad video games, like with Kusog7ande, you never really know what you're going to get, like Forrest Gump, you know? You might get... You know that it's gonna be bad. Like, for sure, it's going to be bad, but that's all that you know coming into this. So, you know, are they going to have fun? Possibly. Are they going to suffer? Definitely. You know, we're not here for kindness, we're here for pain. And honestly, everybody watching, they're here for pain.
This is kind in comparison to what they're going to get later.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And honestly, when it comes to round 1, usually this is the round where there is a little bit of mercy when it comes to how evil the games are. And honestly, you know, the longer the tournament goes, the more notoriously difficult and ridiculous the games get. I'm working on getting everything captured, by the way, everybody, so don't be too worried. It's just... occasionally, day 1, after getting stuff switched around and trying to get... Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is about OBS, but occasionally it just does not like to behave the first time that you have a show going on. And that's what it's doing today. It's being a bit of a patootie.
And so... You know, well, Chad's talking about, you know, this game is merciful as a Titus game. Like, honestly, this is probably one of the better Titus games. And
not as good as Xena for Game Boy Color,
it's not, well...
Maybe?
It looks better. It maybe controls better.
I don't know. I love Xena for Game Boy Color, okay? But I also speedrun it, and I've got problems.
I didn't say it wasn't an enjoyable game. Right, I said, you know, like from a what makes a game, right? This is probably a better game in that sense.
Okay.
But the other important thing here is this is a port of a Game Boy Color game to the Game Boy Advance.
Okay, that's what I love to hear.
Technically speaking, right, the Game Boy Color game is a better game on the Game Boy Color than this is a game on the Game Boy Advance. Right, the Game Boy Color game is also not good, but it's a little bit more forgivable because, you know, it's just Game Boy Color.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Now, here's the thing. I didn't give them controls, mostly because I couldn't find the manual. So they can figure it out.
I mean, manuals...
I tried.
When it comes to Game Boy Color, who knows if you're going to be able to find them, you know?
I love to give my manuals and controls and all of that if I can. Right? At the same token, I'm just like, you know what? Let's set this up. I actually looked for probably about 25 minutes today for a manual, and all of the places I know where all the manuals tend to exist. Right? And I did not find a manual for this.
That's really nice of you to try.
Yep, and so A and B do things, and L and R do the other stuff. Y'all have seen the quote before, right? I'll even drop it in chat.
Oh, yeah. Simply put, you know, what I really like about going in with a setup like this is honestly, it's kind of the true situation, you know, dropping over at a friend's house, you both have a Game Boy Advance, you swap games, and you just gotta figure out how to play this dang thing.
It's going to Blockbuster for the weekend, and somebody ruined the manual, the copied manual, right? That goes in the thing, and yeah, right. So you just gotta figure it out, right?
Yeah, I wonder though, could you rent GBA games?
I mean, I would think
don't
you
recall that.
Could've.
I don't recall very well. Then again, we didn't have a GBA or a Game Boy when I was a kid. We had a Game Gear, and simply put, I don't think they rented too many of those games out.
I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I would imagine they did, but right by the time GBA was a thing, right? I was in college. So
when was that? I'm just trying to remember when the GBA came out.
I bought it my senior year of high school. It came out in like 2001. Right. So I bought it, you know, with the money I got working from a job at a grocery store. So okay. I had a GBA. Right, like the ice blue or ice purple or whatever they call that one. I don't know. Right. And I bought that on release day.
Okay.
And I remember going to Best Buy.
This music.
March 21st. Okay. June 11th, 2001. So it was after I graduated.
Really?
Like okay. Just after I graduated.
Yeah,
I graduated.
2001. I was. Let's see. 2001 to 2002 was when I was a sophomore in high school. So yeah.
And I
old
thought,
man, you old man, right? Old man Condan. Thank you, Jackal Wolf, for the sub, and thank you everybody else who is subbing. I know that right now my blabbering is a little bit nonsensical, mostly because I have been working on just trying to get this layout looking correct, but I think that we have everything. It's day one Kusog7ande, you know?
Yeah, Now I want you to listen to this music and think to yourself, if you listen to this, would you be like, yeah, that's totally music from the Top Gun movie?
Like, it sounds like it's from a European game. And you know what?
Right.
It is.
Oh, it is. It sounds like, if you close your eyes, it sounds like you're playing like an Amiga, maybe a shoot 'em up, maybe like a platformer, right? Like a military platformer, right? Or a shoot 'em up from like 1988.
Yeah, this
right for the Amiga or the Commodore 64.
Absolutely does not sound like Top Gun.
Right. We should see if they're all ready to go.
Yeah. Let's see. Top Gun, Firestorm. I'm just getting. Thank you, Flan Kitty, for updating the title in a chat. By the way, we have a lot of fantastic people who are volunteering and helping out when it comes to the tournament. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The Top Gun. What does it mean to have the... Are you a Top Gun or a bottom gun? Okay, that's it. That's my one. That's the only joke I'm able to say right now, okay? We're done. We're done. This is a family-ish, friendly-ish stream. We're up to PG-13. We're usually PG, but sometimes a little PG. You can say that on TV. You can say, like, I know Seinfeld, they would say something like that.
We have said, you know what, I'll make you all feel better. We've said worse shit on this channel.
Oh my gosh, sirens! Woo, woo! Twitch cop's gonna come after you, Corndam, probably punch you in the butt. Okay, so we're doing the countdown, everybody. If you are new to watching Kusog7ande, they will have 1 hour to make as much progress as they can. Whoever makes the most progress takes first place, gets the 10 points, and will have a good chance of making it to at least round 3 in the group stages. Your ears burn? Well, are you blushing? As soon as I see movement in the first stage, I will start our timer. Oh, elite school for its most promising pilots. Look at this guy. Why is Mr. Clean teaching us how to fly a plane? Okay, come on. We can get into the stage. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a little while.
I should have just started it. Whatever. It's tradition for me to wait until they move inside the stage. And here we go. Yuge! Taking off. Look at this plane. Ooh, this is giving me some...
It looks like an F-14.
This looks like a game.
Right, so it's an isometric top-down game, right?
Okay.
But you can already see a problem, right? Yuge, your gun, if you fire your gun, it doesn't hit the ground.
Okay. How do you... Can you drop...
Yeah. There's no real, like, I mean, you can swap the bombs, right? I think L and R switch weapons on the gun, right? You can also, if you ever played the old arcade game Zaxxon.
Yeah. If you're moving down and you press fire, then you can drop a bomb.
You got it. It's tank controls.
Okay. Tank controls... It seems like a nightmare on a GBA game. I don't like that. But it actually
makes sense for an airplane. Like, I'm not...
Airplanes, tanks, what's the difference, everybody? I don't know. I've never driven either of them.
But no lie, the game is actually easiest to basically go fast, like, straight by the bottom and just use your guns on everything.
Yeah, I could see that. Honestly, I love Zaxxon. I played the Atari 800 XL port of it. It was a lot of fun. There was another one on Atari that I really liked that was... I'm trying to remember. Clickety-clack, don't talk back, Corn Day.
Well, I'll do what I want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually really dig this music. It's not Top Gun music. But it's good music.
The music's not bad, right? But if you listen to it, you wouldn't think to yourself, man, this is Top Gun.
Agreed.
You would go,
the one that I'm thinking of is Blue Max. My father loved Blue Max for Atari, and that was one where it was sort of like Zaxxon, where you're set flying in a specific direction, but you bombed bridges and buildings on the ground, and tanks were trying to shoot you, so it was much more of a war-style game. Whereas Zaxxon, whenever I played it, it felt like you were like flying through a toy house or something like that.
I love Zaxxon, though.
I love Zaxxon. It just doesn't look
Zaxxon
like
at that time.
Yeah.
Right. Like as an arcade game, I thought actually looked really good, and I thought it was pretty inventive. At this point in time, though, this would be like 2000 something. Right, we could do a little bit better than this.
Oh, yeah.
But, so, as I said, here's the thing. This is a GBA port of Firestorm, right, for the Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
So, for everything, right? The other reason I didn't worry about telling them what to go do, right? The map actually tells you.
Okay. That's
right?
actually really handy. They'll have to figure out that the map says that. Yeah.
I think they've all hit the map.
I think so, yeah.
Right, so you only technically, like from a speedrun standpoint, you technically only have to destroy the base and like the fuel dumps. You can leave all the tanks and stuff like that alone.
Yeah, I'd say the most important thing learning to play a game like this is that it seems like this game is actually playable as long as you're like paying attention to the things that could possibly kill you. Like, do not fly into towers, do not fly into cliffs. Otherwise, you're probably fine.
I mean, it's probably, you know, better than stuff that's going to show up later, right? You know, in the tournament. The game is not, you know, it does not rise to mediocre, right? You know, I think chat's got it right. Like, this is even worse Urban Strike. Okay. You know, in all honesty. But you could just, I mean, even seeing this, like, it looks more controllable than it is.
Yeah, I could believe that. I mean, tank controls in a jet game, that just sounds miserable. I hate that idea.
It's not really good. I mean,
yeah.
As I said, you know, I mean, like, from a standpoint of things like that, like, I'm willing to give it more of a pass, right? Because, right, like, that's how airplanes fly, right? And so when you're trying to control, you know, put in like a pseudo 3-dimensional thing here, right? You know, up and down or up and down, right? Then tank controls kind of make more sense.
True. I mean, at least Titus was trying with this. Like, and I can see that they actually put some work into making this game. I don't know if they've made any other isometric shooters before. Titus, you know,
as I said, they made
what I've seen is platformers.
They made the Game Boy version of this, or published it, whatever.
Is the Game Boy version better?
I think it's comparatively better.
Uh-oh. What did I do? Like, oh, okay, that's what I did.
Like, I feel like it's comparatively better. It on the Game Boy, feels more like a Game Boy game than this does on the GBA.
Okay.
Right, this is probably, honestly, the better version of the two. But, like, it's not... It doesn't make good use of the hardware in comparison. Right, I guess it's a better way of...
That makes sense. Okay, so right now, Clades is trying to destroy the helicopters. Has everybody made progress? Are they,
Yeah,
it looks like
if you look
Buster
here,
is going after the Jeeps.
Right, there's destroy the bases, basically, right? Destroy the Jeeps, then destroy the truck, then the helicopters.
The enemy base has been rigged with explosives. Yeah. Just so you know. I know I saw something in chat that gave me a bit of a laugh between myself. Said if you're sending out fighter jets to attack ground targets within 200 feet of your base, you're doing war wrong. I feel like, first
100%.
off, if you're doing war, you're doing it wrong. You probably shouldn't be. But also, don't use planes to attack something on your doorstep, you know? Use catapults.
I mean, use trebuchets and then throw 90-kilogram objects like 300 meters. It'd be perfect for this.
You could throw a jet at something using a trebuchet.
It'd take a lot of effort. Jets are expensive. Jets are heavy.
Well, then get a big trebuchet, you know? And you could just throw the enemy jets. That would be even better. You know? Kill 2 jets with 1 jet. Or 1 trebuchet. Oh my gosh. Clade's getting the next Mr. Clean screen. Fantastic. Oh,
I mean, look, Iceman scored 700.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's Iceman?
See, you've never seen the original.
I never have. No, I know none of the characters. Is Mr. Clean Iceman?
No. Iceman is Val Kilmer.
Is Val Kilmer Mr. Clean?
No, Val Kilmer is Batman.
Then who's Batman? I'm so confused.
Look, Batman is somebody we threw at a vat.
Yeah, oh no, not the vat. Well, everybody, I know that if you are watching, there's no way that I can turn off the ads, so good luck, you will be getting one soon. But what can you say? We're at a little bit of a downtime. Go ahead and enjoy whatever is going to pop up for you. And if it is terrifying, then I am sorry. For some reason, Justin got an ad about gamer braces the other day, and I'm like, what the crap is this about?
I mean, are we talking like gamer braces, like for like carpal tunnel, like for your wrist, or
No,
like
for
gamer
your
braces
teeth.
for like teeth?
Yeah, like the Invisalign thing, except it was definitely advertised to gamers. And I don't understand it. I don't want to get gamer braces.
Well, maybe Justin does.
No, he really does not want to get that. Yeah, if they had LEDs, though, maybe I would get braces. Okay, anyways, sorry. Let me stop.
So we got looks like Yuge and Mindless Pit are both on helicopters, right? So we should. I'd expect that we're going to see them finish up this level pretty soon.
Okay, good. Yeah, Clades is currently in the open ocean, / islands.
Yep, you got to stop and destroy all the cruise missiles coming in.
I feel like there are better ways to do that than sending a
An
jet that can
F-14?
shoot bullets like 5 feet ahead of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
You work with, you're like a rocket scientist. What would you do?
What would I use to attack cruise missiles? Well, one, you intercept them long before they get to the carrier, right? But if for whatever reason, right, we got to the point that they're at the carrier, they have something called CWIS, Close Intercepts. I forget what it stands for.
Okay, so you'd send out the CWIS.
Close in weapon system. Oh, I mean,
okay.
there's not like anything like it. Like it's a barrage of like 20 millimeter rounds, right? You know, they
that's
get
fair.
used to attack missiles and stuff, right? Like that's actually what it's for.
Okay. Oh, a big rotary cannon. Okay.
Yeah, it is it's a 20 millimeter rotary cannon.
Actually, yeah,
right.
if it's a rapid fire cannon, that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like this idea. Corndan, thank you. You have saved the day more than Iceman.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You guys through level 1, and this music is even better somehow.
Isn't it?
This is
You
so...
guys better. You guys
your
through.
Iceman
Mindless Pit is
wins.
through.
Yeah, like, okay, everybody, if you're wondering why the music is like this, a lot of the reason that you have so many trills in this game is because it was made in Europe, and a lot of the musicians in Europe, start, especially for Nintendo early on, a lot of them started with Commodore 64, and that has a fantastic system for making the trill sort of sounds that you get here, and they adapted it for various other games like this. Yeah,
Right. It's called. It's arpeggiated chords.
that one.
Right, and a lot really came about because the Commodore 64 has a really capable sound system. The SID chip is great, but it's only 3 channels. Right, which is fine nominally until you want like something besides the chord. Right, you want something underneath, you want your random noise for your drums and all of that. And so right, they would use 1 or 2 channels and arpeggiate these chords, rapidly bounce between them, give the appearance of a chord while only really using 1 channel. And so a lot of those developers, that's how they develop sound. And they carried it through to the Amiga and the NES,
Honestly,
Right.
it makes sense for the NES as well. The NES only had 4 channels, and one of them was specifically... Wait, it had...
Yep.
Two square, one triangle, one
white
noise,
one PCM.
oh, one sampler, yeah. That's right. So, you know, they had a few more options, but at the same time, if you already know how to make music in one style using more limitations, odds are, you know, you might already really dig what you did with that, and a lot of the musicians did. Yeah, Mr. Saturn Dude said that it's essentially dithering but for audio, and that is probably the best summary anybody could come up with that. That is beautiful. I love it. Well, anyways, we are about 15 minutes into this match. Remember, we've got 4 matches today and 4 matches tomorrow. Next weekend, we're off because I'm going to be over at GDQ getting ready to hunt some ghosts. Yeah, and probably the weekend after, we're not going to have Kusog7ande either because it is still GDQ. Yeah. But we wanted to have at least some matches before all of the GDQ shenanigans happen, and here we are, just having fun. And honestly, it looks like all y'all didn't miss a beat. Y'all showing up day 1. Thank you so much for being here and watching all of the fun. It looks like Buster is moving on as well. Everybody, you know, making a little bit of progress, although it is definitely...
This one's really difficult.
Do we already have a Top Gun emote in Discord?
I don't think we do. Oh, yeah, we do in Discord.
Oh my gosh.
Kat made it a while ago when I gave this to her to test.
That's hideous. Let me see if I can save this so that I can share it with everyone.
It is super hideous.
It's very important that I share the image with you so that y'all can suffer right along with me. So important, you know?
Yep.
Wow. Apparently I forgot how to do anything.
Well,
Welcome, everybody. Today is... I'm still waking up for no good reason. I will be waking up forever. Yeah.
So hopefully, everybody, I think everybody's had to continue now, right? This game does have passwords. So
Yeah,
you can see here, we now have Mindless Pit has destroyed all of the cruise missiles, right? So now we're on to hovercrafts.
Well, good. Good. Destroying hovercrafts? That just sounds rude. Everybody, if you're destroying the hovercrafts, then I am very, very upset. Just like this guy right in the middle here is very upset about you destroying the hovercrafts, and he should be.
I mean, that guy's upset over everything.
Look, he's just looking over at Mindless Pit's screen, being like,
Well, he's trying to make sure these hovercrafts aren't full of eels.
Okay, everybody, if you want to know, that was a reference to stuff.
It was a reference to stuff. My hovercraft is full of eels.
Why is it full of eels?
You've never seen that reference before?
No, what is it?
It's a Monty Python reference.
Which Monty Python?
Like the show.
Okay, Flying Circus.
It's a skit in one episode of Flying Circus.
Why are the... Well, okay, Indiana Jones had a plane full of snakes. Monty Python had a hovercraft full of eels. I just got a can of worms. I feel like I've been
I'll drop it in
let
chat what the reference is for all of...
Everybody, just so you know, Justin and I were talking yesterday while we were going to look at a bunch of art and stuff, and we talked about how references to Monty Python are the lowest form of comedy.
All right, so it looks like everybody but Buster is on hovercrafts now.
Okay, Buster, you can get there. Just blow up some ships and stuff. Which, mind you, this is Kusog7ande, the bad video game tournament. We can sort of embrace the lowest form of comedy every once in a while.
I mean,
I'll give it to you, Corndan.
I'm pretty certain we are the lowest form of comedy.
I don't know. I have seen... Okay. I have seen comedies in Brazil. I'm pretty sure we might be a step above that. Ugh. Let me just say, especially like 90s and 2000s comedy that I saw on Brazilian TV, it's not good. It's not good at all.
I've just seen what's coming up next, and you all are in for a treat.
Cool. I have no idea. I haven't looked, and I'm not going to look until I remember.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to love it.
But yeah, everybody, right now, we are 19 minutes in, and it seems like Buster Korea is the one who's the furthest behind. The others are fairly close to each other, you know. I think all of them are figuring out the controls and more or less how to make progress. Clades, compared to the other players, seems to be flying a lot slower, and that seems to be pretty beneficial. You know, if you fly slower, then you can hit with more bullets.
So it's the downside is you have fuel, right? So it's essentially like time here.
Wouldn't you use less fuel if you're going slower, though?
Well, yes, but I don't think the game actually cares.
I care.
I mean, yes, you would, right? Like if you know, and I have a cruising range, right? But so I can tell you, however, that these F-14s are already flying pretty slow. Because so that F-14 on mindless pit screen should have stalled and crashed.
Yeah, actually, if you're flying that slow in a plane, it's
because the swing wings are out. They're the F-14 is flying slow.
Okay, how slow can you fly in an airplane like this?
Stall speed on this is probably about 100 knots. So we're talking like 120-ish miles an hour.
That's probably a lot faster than they're flying in this game.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest.
Right, because you're barely flying faster than these hovercrafts when you're going real slow, right? And hovercrafts don't go that fast.
It's true. By the way, I'm taking a look at some of the people who worked on this. You know, we have Nigel Spite, who also was the designer, an uncredited designer for Tasmania on Game Boy. And as soon as you have worked on a Tasmania game, you're a legend. You're a legend in my heart. That's all you have to do. I love it. He also worked on one of the Millipede ports later on in the mid-2000s, 2005, it looks like. So honestly, you know, that's pretty cool. David Garrison, who was one of the artists here, has worked on various Need for Speed games, Men in Black games. We've got Dennis the Menace. Oh no. Speedy Gonzalez, that is a very interesting Super Nintendo game, but he worked on the Game Boy version of that. Yeah. So the thing is, this was published by Titus, but from the info that I'm finding is that it was developed by a different studio, specifically Fluid Studios.
Yep.
So
Titus published it, but that doesn't mean, I mean, have you known Titus to even publish good games, right? It's
one good game. They published one good game. That was Incredible Crisis for the PlayStation. Absolutely fantastic. That is the only game they have touched that has been gold. Others have been like aluminum or maybe up to bismuth, but not gold. But for in-house developing, you know, most of what they developed in-house was the biggest trash in the world. The only thing that was reasonably close to a good game is Xena for Game Boy Color, which is why I defend it, because it was made by Titus.
I don't know. The Titus Superman prototype was actually supposed to be pretty good.
Okay, they didn't release that though. I don't know if it counts.
I mean, but what I'm getting to is we can't accuse them of being like all they make is awful stuff, because it's pretty clear that they could have made good things, which meant they chose to make awful stuff.
I'm not sure they chose. My bet is that Superman 64, first off, Nintendo was probably a lot more specific about what types of action and violence they could have, and that conflicted with DC's vision of what Superman could do, and then feature creep set in where for some reason there are a bunch of tornadoes now, and then they're like, look, we just gotta finish this game. Here's a bunch of freaking rings, you play through it, there you go, there's your game, it's done. You gotta ship sometime, and if, you know, you're going back and forth with developers and various companies, that's not always why licensed games are bad, but I just imagine, if I were to license out something that I had made, I would just let people have full creative license to do what they want, surprise me, and I'm not going to boss them around. I'm going to let them go ahead and finish their vision, because as soon as you start bossing them around with the smallest little features, it's going to be bad.
All right, so we've got Clade's kind of in first right now, with Yugi in second. Mindless Pit, I believe, is in third.
I believe so, yeah. Although Buster, I think, is starting to catch up a little bit here.
Yeah, I think those two are pretty close to each other, but I'm not certain on that. There have been a couple of continues.
I really like this music, I'm not gonna lie.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it was Mark Cooksey who worked on it.
It's definitely not Top Gun music, right, but it's not bad.
I mean, depends on
like
which Top Gun you're talking about. If you're talking about Top Gun for Game Boy Advance, then it 100% is Top Gun music.
Well, yeah, because it's the same music.
Well, yeah. But yeah, this guy also worked on music for Gremlins Unleashed, worked on Judge Dredd Pinball, Gex 3 music. You know, you've got Lemmings 2, Tasmania Cliffhanger, Cool World. Like, a lot of these games that ended up being kind of bad had a lot of really good music. Some of the versions of Dragon's Lair, you've got one of the Prince of Persia games that he worked on, Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja. Like, this guy is an absolute legend, and this music, I think, definitely represents how awesome he is as a musician.
It's not bad music.
It's not appropriate for Top Gun, but it's pretty good music. And honestly, I would take out of place music over bad music, okay?
To be fair, Pictionary's music's not appropriate for Pictionary either, but that didn't stop Tim Follett.
Oh, it's so good.
But it's not appropriate for Pictionary.
Again, what music is appropriate for Pictionary?
Sobbing.
Well, you're not going to put that in a game. Like,
well, they should have.
I mean, if it's Hylix, you might put a soundtrack that's just sobbing, but other than that, I don't know. I don't know of a game where that would be appropriate. Liz Star, you're going to put sobbing music into a game? Okay. I've done some composing. If there are any game developers out there who want me to put together some music for like a very cheap amount, then I can go ahead and do that. But the cheaper it is, the more sobbing there's going to be. The more trombone disaster it's going to end up being. you know?
I appreciate so much that somebody made a cover of Trombone Disaster.
I also love that LLK did art for the music video. LLK, fantastic. I love it. Flannel Cat, you want the $5.99 sobbing package? Oh, you got it. Give me $5. Yeah. If you want high quality sobbing, you even have to pay less than that. The more money you pay, the less it'll resemble pain. Okay, Radama Ford said that one of the tracks is going to be the music that I drown puppies to. Corndan, it's been so long since I've done speedruns of Wolf Quest, but occasionally I still get comments. No, I got a comment last week that was like, "Stop drowning the puppies."
Well,
and I'm like, it's been years since I've drowned a single puppy, but I just replied to them, never. I will never stop.
Look, there are just certain things that once you do it once, you just get known for it, right? And drowning puppies is one of them.
I mean, we have ghost puppies as the in-chat quote-unquote currency, I guess. Yeah, so everybody enjoy all your ghost puppies. That happened while we were... Because yesterday they had sort of the art festival here. I still am a little bit wary about big crowds, but sometimes you just gotta go and see what art people have made. And I think I met a real-life leprechaun yesterday. Seriously, he was wearing... Leprechaun? Yeah, he was wearing a green bowler hat, like Irish green. He had a sort of a red... it was almost a gingham shirt. He had suspenders. And I didn't realize he was probably a leprechaun until after I left. And because he was talking a lot about politics and stuff. But I think that was his trick in order to trick me from getting his gold. I should have gone back and stolen his gold.
You should have.
It was, yeah, the politics talks just absolutely confused me.
All right, looks like Clades is on to the next level. Right, that one's pretty simple.
Nice flying. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Mr. Clean. I love you. No thanks to that guy, though. Ugh. So, I honestly don't know what the story of Top Gun is other than, hey, you're a person who flies a plane. Well, and actually, by you, I mean Tom Cruise.
It's really a story about how former enemies can come together through homoerotic volleyball.
Was there no volleyball in the new movie? I've heard about the volleyball scene.
There is not volleyball in the new movie, but there is an equivalent scene.
So there is a homoerotic scene? Oh my gosh, okay, I gotta watch this.
It's less homoerotic than the volleyball.
I mean, you can very rarely get that homoerotic. Let's be real. I watch men's volleyball for a reason.
All right, so it looks like we've got really impressive place here so far. Mindless Pit is off to fight some MiGs.
Yeah! Buster, I think, is starting to get close to the end of this. Honestly, Buster, I believe Yuge and Clates have played plenty in tournaments. Buster and Mindless Pit are names that I don't recognize in the Kuso world. So I would say that for their first time here, they're doing pretty dang good.
And, that's part of the reason, you want to open up with a a relatively reasonable-ish game.
I love there are a lot of games that are flawed but enjoyable, and I would say that this game, I'm not playing it, so I'm having a lot of fun.
It's
but
all right.
It seems like it's got some decent ideas to it. For a Top Gun game, it's probably the best way they could have done it.
It's legitimately like, okay, yeah, it's Urban Strike, but Top Gun. I mean, that's a pretty way of looking at it.
Yeah. With some of the best faces in video game history. I would say those combined make this at least, not the most forgettable game in the world. I'd say that sort of the biggest crime so far in the game is the tank controls.
The controls are definitely...
As an isometric game, they just do not go together.
Playing it, as I said, it doesn't seem so bad. But right, it's still not good.
Yeah. Gotta go under the bridge. But yeah, consider, if the only way to drop bombs was using old school arcade, press down and fire in order to drop the bomb. If that was the only way to do it, then this game could be very close to unplayable. So thank goodness, the developers actually thought about the multiple buttons that the Game Boy Advance had to offer and allowed you to use more than one single fire button. Thank you. But I do like that they kept the old school arcade style in there just in case you wanted to use it. That's a nice little touch. Thank you, devs. If you are watching and are new to the stream here, everybody, Kusog7ande, while this is a bad game tournament, we also tend to be lovers of flawed games. I love to talk about the things that they both did right and wrong, and most of the time you can find a lot of redeemable elements in games that are flawed. And this one has some.
The best Kusog7ande games aren't games that are just like mediocre and bad, right? They're games that could do, were doing something right, could have been enjoyable, as a, with the time and love put into them or something, right? Could have been enjoyable with if they picked different design decisions, right? There are definitely some games that are just too bad for Kusog7ande or too boring, right, for Kusog7ande.
There are plenty of those, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, most of the games that people remember from the day are the really good games. But it's a very small fraction of games that get put out that are going to become classics. The NES library, for example, people have extremely fond memories of the NES games.
The NES put out a lot of crap.
That's like about 10%, maybe 10%. Probably less than that would be considered true classics. And then I'd say probably another maybe 10 to 20% are games that are unforgettably bad. And then you have a whole swath right in the middle. Although NES tended to be a lot more polarizing than modern games. Like GBA games, we have not had a lot of GBA games because we should have more, but there's a lot of mediocrity on the GBA, like a lot of mediocrity.
I feel like the Game Boy Color and then the Game Boy Advance was really where like shovelware came into its own.
Yeah, although I would say that the Game Boy Color has more really bad games than the Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance just had a lot of shovelware that ended up being kind of boring.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, the big difference too is the Game Boy Advance had like twice as many games, maybe more than that, right? Than the Game Boy Color did.
So many games, yeah. Honestly,
right?
I barely delved into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Right, out of the library I have, right, right? Like, it's massive, right, for Game Boy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like 8 gig of Game Boy games, of Game Boy Advance games or something, right? And, right, the games are like 16 meg apiece.
Yeah, there are so many. I definitely want to look at more of them, but I also know that, like, there are a lot of games out there that we have had on Kusog7ande that I just afterwards have felt, I don't know, I wish this were more exciting, because, you know, the first hour of gameplay was mostly just tutorials on how to play the game. The Game Boy Advance was tutorial city. Just every single game had to interrupt the game over and over and over and over with in-game tutorials. This game, no. It just sort of lets you do your thing. I like it. Thank you, Top Gun. With that said, you know, maybe a little... There is an in-game tutorial that the players can play if they really want when it comes to this game. We told them to skip it. It's really not needed. This is a pretty straightforward game, you know? But I'm trying to think, like, even if you had, like, a Buffy the Vampire Slayer game and you have to run over to the right and push B next to a switch in order to flip it, you would probably have about half a minute of dialogue between Giles and Buffy, and it, like, explained, for some reason I can talk to you telepathically because of these demons that are invading our realm. And Buffy's like, okay, so what does that mean? And Giles is like, well, that doesn't matter now. What you have to do is open this door. And Buffy's like, how do I do this? And he's like, do you see the switch? Yeah. Well, go ahead, walk up to it, and you need to press the button to open the switch. And she's like, press the button. Got it. He's like, use the B button. She's like, what's a B? And he's like, no, not the one that stings you. Yeah, just...
Oh, yeah,
it looks like the letter B. And she's like, oh, yes, I know that button. And Giles is like, you do? And she's like, I don't know how I know what the button... Yeah, you see what I'm talking about. It just goes on and on and on and freaking on. Game Boy Advance is the biggest offender in that realm. In-game tutorials have become much, much better over the last decade or so, where sometimes they just, like, have the picture of the B button in the background, and that's your tutorial. That's all you need. That's all you freaking need. You don't need Giles suddenly getting telepathic abilities, talking to you, telling you how to freaking
Are you sure you
push a
don't?
switch. I mean, I want him to talk to me.
Look, if you had telepathic abilities, wouldn't you tell people how to go push switches too?
No. I'd probably, like, make them keep thinking, like, that they're thinking about the pee-pee-poo-poo man. Suddenly we'd have a new... We'd have more cryptozoology. The pee-pee-poo-poo man is terrifying, Corndan.
What is the pee-pee-poo-poo man?
I think you know what the pee-pee-poo-poo man is.
I
kind of all in the name.
I mean, this sounds like something you just made up, like, to describe you.
Do you not know the pee-pee-poo-poo man? Oh my gosh.
Clearly not.
Let me see if I can find...
I'm also not sure I want to know.
Okay, I found the picture. Here, don't worry, everybody. We'll have the pee-pee-poo-poo man on the screen in just a little bit. It's very important, otherwise I wouldn't be showing the pee-pee-poo-poo man. It's very relevant to what we're discussing, I guess. There you go, everybody. Say his name, you won't be laughing when he kills you. The pee-pee-poo-poo man.
I mean, Are you sure?
No.
All right, so we've got 3 people right now on destroying any attacking enemy forces, and then Buster's on the mission beforehand. So this is one where the map is super helpful because you have to find a down fighter pilot. Once you find it, it's just like destroy the attacking enemy forces, and the map tells you where they're all at, which is real nice. This game is kind of nice.
Yeah, I do like that it's not hand-holding, but it provides you enough information to help you get to where you need to go. Again, Game Boy Advance with tutorials was also very heavy on the hand-holding in multiple ways. But yeah, this game, I feel they did it right. How did something affiliated with Titus actually do something like that right? I don't know. But I'm very appreciative of it. Thank you so much.
So, I think Yugi is moving into the lead here, right? Because that's the first time we've seen shoot down the enemy's ace.
Yeah, I believe so. And I'm not too surprised. Yugi has been a strong player here, and I believe in Mystery Tournament as well. Honestly, you know, out of the people who have the best chance of taking the victory today, I would expect Yugi or Clades to be in those positions.
They've been kind of really close to each other.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, that's not to say that Mindless Pit, right, couldn't pick this up, you know, because right now they're in third, but all you have to do is make a little bit more progress, right? And that's like second right there. I mean, you know, Clades is struggling with the same, like, ground issues.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried about Yugi and Clades only having 1 ship left, although if 0 ships is one of the possible lives that you can have, then it might be fine. No, it's not. This is their last life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no! Buster just ran into the pillar there. I do like that the runway immediately leads straight into a wall of ice.
Oh yeah, it's so
Chat
good.
pointed that out. It's fantastic. Honestly, it would be better to have the airfield on top of the ledge. That way, you know, you can just fly your plane, and if you're not going fast enough, you know, you fall and then gain speed, and then bam, you're going fast enough.
No, see, that'll get you where all the SAM missiles and everything are.
What will?
Like, if you put your base up high, every time you go take off, you'll just get hit with missiles.
I mean,
so Yugi is on return to
prepare.
Vegas. That's, well, I mean, if you're going out of your way to put all your stuff in this, right, you would protect it with surface-to-air missiles.
Well, I would say, why are you putting an air base 5 feet away from people's tanks?
Look, that's not my problem.
I guess it's not. It's Tom Cruise's problem, you know. You can go ahead and blame the military industrial complex here. Whee! So, question. It looks like Clades has 3 lives left. Does that mean that Clades got a game over?
Yeah.
That is a huge lead change then, because Yugi completed the stage and is solidifying that lead. Mindless Pit has a chance to move up to second place now. This is a good opening.
Well, and Buster Curry, right? They're all in that same, right? You know, they've all found the down pilot, right? They're all trying to down the enemy forces.
Yeah, it looks like Buster did get a game over, but at the same time,
everybody's got a game over.
it was a fairly fast one right there. You know, if Buster can keep moving, they could potentially move out of the 4th place spot at the moment. You
got like 12 minutes left at this point in time, right? And like in 12 minutes, right, there could easily be any number of shifts, right? Like all it takes literally here is one good run. So it looks like Clades is on the second part of enemy forces. Clades is attacking helicopters. Right, so the first part is tanks, the second part is helicopters. Even though it kind of shows you the same thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this music. I love this music so much.
So, yeah, it's not bad.
Ooh, it looks like Mindless Pit also took a death there. Oh no, the wall! And I'm not talking about the album, The Wall. That was a literal wall. Oh, there. Mindless Pit, after dying really quickly, has just decided, let's go ahead and use up all my lives because it's not going to be worth trying to play dying that early in this level. And I would agree, that is a good move. You know, you want to make some progress in a level before having your first death. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to be a huge pain.
Oh, Clades has got returned to base. So that's a pretty solid first and second right now.
I believe so, yeah. Good job, Clades. Honestly, it looks like if you know where you need to go... Oh, Clades. Death Warp, does that count?
Oh, yeah.
No?
Nope, you got to go shoot down the ace again.
I know, you get right into the helicopter pad. That's not for jets, it's for helicopters, Yugi. You can't do that. Okay, the levels are kind of getting more entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, the first couple levels were kind of low-key, you know, not... You could run into things, but they weren't too stressful, and now we're getting to see planes blow up all over the place, and I love it. This is what gaming is all about.
I think it's actually a combination of a couple things, right? One, like the Siberia map, right, that 3 of the 4 of our players are on, right?
Yeah.
It's really tight, right? And so, you know, when you're dealing with like terrible controls and all of that, right? You know, you're gonna blow up more often. But I also think the other combination is they know there's only like 15 minutes left. And I'm willing to bet every single one of them thinks they're behind.
I think so. I think Yuge might feel a little bit confident, but he has played a decent amount before.
Here too.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, so think about it, like how much time, right, they spent, you know, on that down fighter.
Oh yeah.
Like you know, your first thought has got to be, well, somebody totally did this the first try.
Yeah. You're right. Honestly, part of the difficulty of Kusog7ande is worrying that you are behind everybody else, worrying that you are not doing as well, and there are a lot of mind games that go into this. I try to let you know, especially new players, know if you are struggling with a specific spot in the game, odds are the other players are as well.
Oh, 100%.
As long as you can keep yourself from stressing out, you can usually play a lot better. Mind you, I say this, but in practice, when I'm actually playing a game, very rarely do I feel like I'm actually doing super well compared to other players. Usually I feel like I'm in last. And unfortunately, I usually am in last because I'm not nearly as good at racing. Hey, Clades is on to the next level as well. Yep. Very nice, Clades. I'm so glad that landing your ship gives you a full repair as
It's
well
really
as fuel.
convenient. It's really nice.
Yeah. That's extremely helpful. Like, even though this is hard difficulty, it's very forgiving being able to do that.
It is actually fairly, I mean, I would call it forgiving-ish, right? The game is not particularly forgiving, but, right, like it does offer up the, there's always a spot to refuel, right? And, there is infinite continues and passwords on every level, right? So from that standpoint, like, it's good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to think. The only times that I've ever felt fairly confident that I wasn't in last was with two games. One, the sliding puzzle, but that's because 50 minutes of the 60-minute match were cutscenes. And then second was Wait and See, the Russian bootleg where you play as Bugs Bunny. But that's because I feel very confident when I'm playing bootlegs compared to other people, because I know the jank. And I took first that round. Other than those two games, I've never felt confident. And, I'm usually correct in that regard, but... Oh. Bad Chop, you're telling me never to say the name Wait and See again? Wait and See? Well, just wait and see. I might say it again. I actually really like that bootleg. I want to play it some more. One day, it may be a speedrun project, but today is not that day, because guess what? We've got 3 more matches after this game. It's a big day. It's a big weekend for Kusog7ande. And what can you say? We've got 4 matches tomorrow. Holy crap, Yuge. Great job. Iceman wins. So yeah, at this point, Clades might be able to catch up.
It's possible, but I think it's unlikely. What I'm trying to look for is between Mindless Pit and Buster.
Yeah, 3rd and 4th, I think that's really the most difficult placing that we're going to have during this match. Because, yeah, Clades, even if he does get to the next level, Yuge will have spent more time on it, and likely, just based off of Yuge's past gameplay in this match, Yuge could definitely make some progress here.
So what I'm looking for, and what I've seen on 3rd and 4th, and refs and Cadis and all of that, right? Please let me know if I'm wrong. I have not seen either Mindless Pit or Buster transition to attacking helicopters yet.
Pew pew.
So if somebody has seen that, please let me know.
I like that occasionally, like, you shoot something and then this pilot appears on the bottom right. I don't know why he appears there, but I like it.
So that's every time you finish a, like, check part of the checklist, right? Right, you get the Toasty pilot.
Toasty? Is that his name?
Well, that's what I'm calling him, right? Because... Well, no, because, based on the old Mortal Kombat, occasionally, when you throw an uppercut, right, you'd have a little guy that pop out and go, Toasty!
Really?
Yeah.
What? Okay, I guess I haven't played enough Mortal Kombat. Wait. I typed Toasty into Google, and the first thing that popped up was Toasty Vampire Survivors. Is there a Toasty reference in there?
I don't know. Yes, there actually is.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm very happy now. Toasty... How did I never know about this? I just never knew. Toasty. Okay. He is so out of place as well. Like, looking at the Mortal Kombat picture, it is
absolutely 100% like sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, look at this guy. That is not normal Mortal Kombat clothing, okay? Look at him. Toasty. I like it. I'm a big fan. Well, Corndan, we are almost to the final minute, which I don't think there's enough time for Clades or Yuge to make more progress.
Definitely not.
Mindless Pit and Buster, though.
That in hand.
Yeah. I know that chat is criticizing my Mortal Kombat clothing styles, but at the same time, a t-shirt in Mortal Kombat? No, that's more appropriate for that one weird fighting game you played the other day, Corndad.
Look, that weird fighting game was so good.
Oh crap, what's it called?
Battle of the Eras.
Battle of the Eras, yeah. By the way, I got in contact with the dev for that.
I saw that.
And he is just... I think that he's happy that people, like, love how campy that game is. It's a very toasty game, let me tell you.
What? It's just so good.
It is fantastic. Well, here we go. That is... I almost hit time at the right time, but that's okay. We are donezo. Throw your hands up in the air, everybody. Jet Set Willie, why are you so loud? Jet Set Willie, stop it. No, don't stop playing. Actually, keep playing. I want you to keep playing. Nah, the frog spins. Look at the frog go. Well, I think we can pretty much say that Yuge took the victory today. Clades taking second place. Between Mindless Pit and Buster Curry, though, it's really difficult to say. Although Mindless Pit is probably in third, Buster Curry in fourth. We will want to completely confirm that. Yeah, let's go ahead and invite Yuge in if Yuge wants to come and chat. Because I would love to hear some opinions about how this game went. Man, type. I know you're busy talking to the players. That's important. Hello there, Yuge, and congratulations on your victory today.
Thank you so much.
Oh, so I have to ask your opinions, your first thoughts about this game. What's on your mind?
I mean, my first thoughts was that it's probably one of the most pleasant Kusog7ande game I've played yet.
Really?
However,
okay.
It's so hard to tell what height certain things are and what the hitboxes are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So easy to run into stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Did your plane have a shadow?
It does. However, when you're coming from top to down, you don't really see, like, when I'm going under the bridges, you don't see the shadow of the bridges, and you don't see the pillars of the bridges either. So you just kind of just have to guesstimate.
Yes,
wiggle
really
your
hard sometimes to tell if you're okay on height.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a little bit difficult, but you know, you still, like, Clades was just a little bit behind you. Honestly, you didn't move into first until pretty close to the end. Clades was going to take the victory for most of the match.
Yeah, you moved into first about halfway through the Siberia stage.
Right.
Yeah, otherwise, this would be a different
that Siberia stage, that Siberia stage was hard as well because the runway was right into a wall.
Yeah, we laughed every time that happened.
Yeah, that was great. Absolutely fantastic.
And all four of you did it. Oh yeah, I'll be fine. Wham, right into the wall.
Exactly. Especially when you refuel, because then you start further along the runway. So then you have even shorter time to dodge.
Oh Oh yeah, it was pretty funny. I liked it. But yeah, with that said, I'm glad that you enjoyed this game. Honestly, I think out of all the games that Titus put out, this is one of the better ones. The music is pretty slapping, even if it's not appropriate for Top Gun. It's an enjoyable soundtrack. The gameplay is a little bit clunky, what with the way that you control the plane, a little bit hard to tell perspective, but I'd honestly say this is a pretty passable Top Gun game.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that it has neat ideas. It's not super well executed, but there are some really cool and good ideas there.
But I think that's what makes for a good Kusog7ande game. A game that could have been good, except it wasn't executed the way it should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree there. Well, cool. Yuge, I believe, did you make it into the bracket last year?
No, I think the last two Kusog7ande I've gotten right on the edge, and that final match before the brackets I lost. I think the last Kusog7ande actually got second place every single match for the entirety of Kusog7ande.
It looks like Clades was in the bracket last year, so you've beaten one bracket person today.
Yeah, it's
so
promising.
Yeah.
Now you just got to beat all of the rest of them.
Well, not all of them. Just enough of them. You know, because the way the points work for everybody watching, first place, they get 10 points in the group stage. Second place, 7 points. Third place, 5 points. And fourth place, 2 points. And in general, after the first 2 rounds, we start eliminating people based off of points. Usually, if they get under 12 points total, they get eliminated. So Yuge, even if you completely bomb the next one, you're still going to make it to the third round. Yeah. So you've got that. You've got that going for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, cool. I have to ask, is there anything that you're streaming these days or anything that you need to plug before we let you go?
Yeah, I'm actually started a project that I call the PC Engine Quest. So basically, I have a goal that I want to beat every single PC Engine Japanese release throughout the entire lifespan in chronological order.
Oh,
so that's actually what I'm working for right now. Everything blind, no guides, no save states even. And I'm on my 21st game, which is an adventure game called Kusog7ande, which is kind of like a comedic Bond parody set in Japan.
Okay, I like that. Sweet. Well, good luck on that project. I'm really glad that you're back this year. I'm glad that you came and joined the game and that you were in our first match. Best of luck with all of that, and we'll go ahead and let you take a break and celebrate. Or I suppose if you want to celebrate, you don't have to.
I mean, you can celebrate. You don't have to fly in Siberia anymore.
Exactly.
Yay,
exactly.
No more Siberia. All right, Yuge, thank you so much. Take care, and Gordon, thank you as well.
Thank you so much for having me, and see you in the next match.
Good game to open up Kusog7ande on.
Oh, fantastic game. Well, I will see both of you later. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Well, for those who are here who played in the last match, even if you didn't take the victory, you know, we do not eliminate people off of the first game. Everybody did fantastic. I feel like it honestly could have been anyone's game up until Siberia, where that really started separating everybody out. It was a lot of fun, though. I'm going to run a quick little ad and go grab a cup of coffee, and then I will be right back with our reveal for game number 2. Be back in 1 minute.